Hello my dear students, welcome to SR ICSE English tutorial. I have renamed my channel. Previously it was known as English by Heart. Henceforth it will be known as SR ICSE English tutorial. In my last video, that is Julius Caesar Act 1 Scene 2 Part 3, I have completed till this line. I like to lay upon us this line 173, where we have seen that Cassius was trying to convince Brutus about Caesar's nature, how it will change, how he will become a dominant ruler, how he will become an autocrat, a tyrant after getting the crown, how they will be treated as slaves, they will not have any independence, and how Brutus here says that he will think about it, what Cassius has said. So we'll start today from here. So Cassius is saying, I am glad that my weak words have struck, but thus much show there is a sign that my weak words, why? Because he is not a very good speaker. But still he has tried to convince someone as Brutus. So have struck here means has caused a spark. So his words, he compares his words with flint stones that produce a spark, and those spark leads to a big fire. So his words are like those flintstone that is able to produce some fire, some sign of fire from Brutus. He has seen that enthusiasm in Brutus for his words, that he is ready to listen, or he has considered the words of Cassius. Then Caesar enters with his train. Train means his followers. And then Brutus, seeing Caesar returning, he says that the games are done, the games of Lupercal are done, and Caesar is returning. So Cassius says, as they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sore fashion, tell you what hath preceded worthy note today. So Cassius says that while the procession, they are returning in a procession, lot of people, his followers and all the noblemen, they are following Caesar. So Calpurnia, his wife, is also with him. So he says that while the procession passes by us, just grab Casca's sleeve and just pull him towards us, and that after, in a sore fashion means in a critical way, in a critical manner, and he will tell us everything, all the proceedings, all the happenings, worthy note, that is important, all the important happenings of today. Now Brutus says that I will do so, but look you Cassius. He points Cassius. He says Cassius to look at something. What are that? The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, on Caesar's forehead. Brow means on his forehead, on his face. There is an angry sign. That means his face shows a sign of anger. And all the rest looks like chidden train. So, and his followers, rest means all the followers following him, they also look as if they have been scolded. Calpurnia's cheek is pale. Calpurnia's face looks white or looks pale. And Cicero is a speaker, Roman orator. He is a statesman. So Cicero also looks like a ferret. Ferret means a rat. So Cicero's face has been compared to a rat with red eyes. Such fiery eyes means red eyes. As we have seen him in the Capitol sometimes being crossed in conference by some senators. So Cicero's eyes or face looks red like a rat. In the same fashion, when he in Capitol he has been crossed, when he was cross-questioned or he was opposed by, in a debate or in a discussion, by some senators. Cassius, Casca will tell us what the matter is. Now, this is a part of a street where Brutus and Cassius is having a discussion where they plan to get hold of Casca and know every detail of the happening. Here Caesar and Antony, they both are discussing something. Remember, Caesar tells Antony means in such a low voice that only Antony can hear. He is not shouting and speaking like Brutus and Cassius, they are having a private discussion. Here, Caesar is also discussing privately. Caesar calls Antony Antonius and he says, yes, Caesar. Caesar, let me have men about me that are fat. So he says that I want, let me have means I want men for security around me. About me means around me. Those are fat. Here, fat does not means, the structure, body structure is fat. No. Here, fat means well fed. They are nutritious. They have lot of nutritious. They have good food. Sleek headed, they are well groomed, they are intelligent, and such as sleep a night. Sleep a night, they have good sleep. So that means he points at healthy people. They have good food, they have good sleep, they don't have any mental trouble, and as well as they're intelligent, they're well groomed. Beyond Cassius, and he points at Cassius, that see Cassius over there has a lean and hungry look. So he's thin and he looks hungry. Now this hungry look means by look he looks as if he is hungry, or and he's hungry about knowing everything. He's too curious. He thinks too much. He's always thinking about everything, and such men are dangerous. So he always overthinks, and according to Caesar, such men are dangerous. Fear him, Antony says, fear him not, Caesar. He is not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given. So he says that don't fear him. No need to be afraid of him. He is not dangerous. Because why he is not dangerous? Because he is a noble Roman. He has a good reputation in Rome and well given. Well given means he is very friendly towards Caesar. Now Caesar says that would he were fatter. Would means I wish. Caesar says I wish. Only he would be fatter, but I fear him not. He says it's not that I am afraid of him. Yet if my name were liable to fear, if Caesar, I myself are capable of fear, I do not know the man I should fear. I do not know which man to fear. Which man to fear I should avoid. But it is not about fear, but I want to avoid such men. Now Caesar says, so soon as thus that spare Cassius. See, he says that if you think that I am not afraid of Cassius, but one thing, if I want to avoid anyone, that is so soon, if not, that spares Cassius. That means spare here means very thin, very bony. Now here he gives a bit character analysis of Cassius. He reads much, he reads a lot, he is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. Quite through the deeds of men, he can see right through the deeds of men, that means what men do. He loves no play, he is not fond of sports, as thou dost, as Antony you are. As you do love sports, he does not. Antony, he hears no music. He is not a musical person. He does not love to hear music. Seldom he smiles. He smiles rare. His smile is rare thing to see. And smiles in such a sort, and smiles in such a way, as if he mocks himself, as if he is making fun. He is laughed at. And scorned his spirit, and his hate spirit of any man that could be moved to smile at anything. And he hates those kind of people who can be moved, who can be easily made or easily persuaded to smile. Then such men can never be at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves. And such men can never be at heart's content. They are never satisfied. They are never at peace. Their heart is never at peace. They are not contented. When they see, behold means see, when they see someone greater, when they see that there is someone greater, more strong, they are stronger and greater than they than themselves. Their heart never is at peace, and therefore are they very dangerous, and these kind of people are dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear. What is to be feared means, and therefore he is saying that what should be feared, what should be afraid of, than what I fear. Okay. For always I am Caesar. So I am always Caesar. After all I am Caesar. Come on my right hand. Come on my right hand means come on my right side. For this ear is deaf. That means his left ear. This ear means left ear. He calls Antony to his right side because his left ear is deaf. He cannot hear properly to Antony. And tell me truly what thou thinkest of him. So he says, you come to my right side and speak in my right ear, because my left ear is deaf, I cannot hear properly, so that I what you think, your opinion about Cassius, of him is Cassius. Then trumpet sounds, exeunt means they exit with all Caesar and trade, and Casca only stays behind. You know, his sleeve was grabbed by his sleeves and he was made to wait. So now another part where we see Casca, Brutus, and Cassius, they will be having discussion. You pulled me by my cloak. Would you speak with me? Would you speak with me? Would you like to speak to me? Brutus. Yes, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today? What hath chanced today? What has happened today? That Caesar looks so sad. Why Caesar is looking not happy? Why there is an angry look on his face? Why he is worried? Why he looks so unhappy? Sad here means serious. Casca, why you were with him? Were you not? Why you don't know what has happened? You were with him. Brutus, I should then, Casca, what had chanced? Then he had, yes, Casca, he says that. Casca just asked, were you not with him? Because Cain, Brutus is a very good friend of, was very close, or you can say the best friend of Caesar, and he's surprised to know that Brutus was not there during the Lupercal, during the crowning ceremony. He was not there. So, if he says that I should not then, if I were with him, then ask Casca what hath chance, and uh, I would not have asked you. I would not have been asking you what has happened had I been with him, Casca. Why there was a crown offered? So he says, well, a crown was offered to him, and being offered, he put it by with the back of his hand. With the back part means not with his palm, not the front part with his front part of his hand, but with the back part, that is the back side of his palm of his hand. He pushed it aside, he pushed the crown aside, and then people fell a shouting. People applauded. People shouted at this gesture. That means what? Caesar refused the crown at Lupercal. Brutus. What was the second noise for? So the first applaud or first shouting was because Caesar was offered a crown and he refused. Now Brutus wants to know what was the second shout for. Why? For that too they shouted thrice. What was the last cry for? So he says that again, that noise for means again for the same thing. That means second time also Caesar was offered the crown and Caesar refused. So Cassius wants to know, they shouted thrice. So according to Cassius, I heard people shouting for 3 times. What was the last cry for? What was the last cry or last shout for? Why? For that too. For that too means same thing. Caesar was offered a crown and then he just rejected the offer. Was the crown offered him thrice? So this shows his popularity. You know, people went on offering crown to Caesar and Caesar went on pushing it away, that he is not now right, and he does not want the crown right now. Casca. Yes, Mary. Mary means by Mary, Virgin Mary, was it? And he put it by thrice, he put it aside by thrice, every time gentler than the other. Means every time means the first time was stronger, second time it was less stronger, and third time it was least stronger. So before means every time the intensity of his rejection went down, and at every putting by mine, honest neighbors shouted. Honest neighbor means those Romans. And every time he put it away, the Romans gave a big shout. Now Cassius says, who offered him the crown? So Casca answers, Antony. Antony offered him the crown. Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca. So he says, explain in detail how everything happened. Casca says, I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. He says, it's better, I will hang myself. I will hang myself than to describe what has happened at Lupercal. It was mere foolery. It was just everything is just foolishness. It was a farce. It was foolishness. I did not mark it. I did not mark it. I paid no attention. I saw Mark Antony offer a crown, yet it was not a crown neither. Not a crown neither means it was not a proper crown. It was not a real crown. Rather, it was one of these coronates. Coronates means like a wreath, means like a garland of flower. It was made of a flower. So it was not an original crown, it was just a form of a coronate, a small crown that was made of flowers and wreaths. And as I told you, he put it by once. He put it by once, that means he refused it once. But for all that day, to my opinion, according to me, ing, that is opinion, thinking, according to my thinking, to my opinion, he would fain have it. He would fain have it, he would gladly, he was ready to have it. He would gladly accepted it. But it just he refused it. Then he offered it to him again. Then Antony offered it to Caesar, that wreath or coronate again. And then he put it by again. Then again he tried to put it aside. According to Casca, he wanted to have it. He wanted to have it, but then repeatedly he went on refusing the crown. But to my thinking, he was very loath. Loath lay off the fingers of it. He hated, is actually hated to take his finger away from that crown or coronet. He wanted to grab the crown, he wanted to have the crown, but still Caesar means rejected it, he gave it away. It shows that he hated, loath means he hated to lay off, to take away his fingers, to take off his fingers from the crown. And then he offered it the third time. Then again Antony offered him for the third time, and Caesar, and still as he refused it, rabblement means the mob, the mass hooted. Hooted means shouted. The people over there, the rabblement means the people or the mass or the mob hooted, they shouted and clapped their chopped hands. Here chopped hand means rough hand, because they are mainly laborers. Chopped hand here, he wants to say chopped hand means they are laborers, so their hands are rough. So they chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps. Sweaty nightcaps means they were wearing nightcaps which were full of sweats, and uttered they were means everything was stinking, choppy hands and sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath. And they shouted when they uttered the name of Caesar. Their breath were stinking. They had a foul smell coming from their mouth, because these are all laborers. They are the laboring people. So this kind of description has been given. Then, because Caesar refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar. Choked Caesar means that, those sweaty smell, the stinking breath, and too much crowd, those shouting and applauding, and that smell all over of the sweat and bad breath and everything choked Caesar. It was such a crowd. The crowd was so heavy, the crowd was so thick that Caesar almost choked. He died of breath. He was running short of breath. And then, for he swooned and fell down at it. Swoon means he fainted. He could not take it any longer. It was so suffocating. The whole surrounding became suffocating that he almost fainted. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh. Durst not laugh means I dare not laugh. My own part. And for myself, if you ask about me, I hardly controlled my dare laughter, because I should not have laughed over there for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air. Okay, because I could not laugh because the smell, the stinking bad breath over there, he did not want to inhale that. That is why he kept his mouth shut. Then, now, when when Casca said, now that there was so much of stinking smell and bad breath and sweaty smell, Cassius, but soft means just 1 minute, I pray. What did Caesar so swoon? So he says that, what did you say? Caesar fainted over there? Casca, yes, he fell down in the marketplace and foamed at mouth and was speechless. So there are 3 points. What happened to Caesar? He fainted. There was foam coming out from his mouth. And foam means, that white froth, frothy, that liquid coming out from his mouth. And he was speechless. These are nothing but Caesar has a disease called epilepsy. So this is a fainting disease. You can say that people faint. They have they have froth coming out of their mouth or foam, and they can't speak. And so this Caesar has this disease. Brutus, tis very like. He's saying it's like means normal because he had falling sickness, epilepsy. So he said it's okay, means Caesar has this disease, so it's nothing serious or nothing abnormal. So Cassius says, no, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have falling sickness. So here Cassius, you can say that Cassius mocks, or Cassius plays with that word of falling sickness, that falling sickness here, Cassius means to say that we will fall down as slaves. How can Caesar, like a monarch, like a colossal statue that he has previously called him, a big statue, a grand king, a grand personality, a kingly person, such an ambitious person like Caesar, who is supposed to only rule on us. We have a falling sickness. He is mocking with this word, or he is playing with this word, falling sickness. It is we who fall in front of him. Why will he fall in front of so many people? Now Casca says, I know not what you mean by that. He says, what you are saying I don't understand. But I'm sure Caesar fell down. Caesar obviously fell down. If the tagrag people, tagrag means the common people, the mob, did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them. As he pleased means when pleased him when he was offered a crown, and displeased them, when he rejected the crown, and sometimes with his whatever he did over there. And they used to do players in the theater. Theater means as they used to clap and shout for the actors when they witnessed a drama or when they saw a drama. So in the theater, I am No true man. I am no true man. I'm not lying. I'm not a liar. They really reacted like that. Caesar fainted, and the people clapped and they hooted for Caesar when sometimes means he pleased them and displeased them, as they did for the actors in the stage when they went to see a drama in a theater. I'm not lying. I'm no true man. I'm not lying. Brutus. What said he when he came unto himself? And then, what did Caesar say when he came to his senses? So we stop till here. It is line number 261. We just have one more part. This is part 4. And one more part to come to end the explanation of Act 1, Scene 2. So if my video has been helpful for you, please share it with your friend, and if you like my explanation, then do subscribe my channel, and if you can just push the bell icon over there so that you get all the notifications of the updated videos. And that's all for today. And if you have any query, any question, please put all your queries and your requisition in the comment box. I will read your comments and try my best to answer them. So that's all for today, and next video, that is the last part of explanation Act 1 Scene 2, will be uploaded soon. Thank you and bye.